Hey everybody, welcome to our Monday weekly call. I'm so excited for this one. Um, so we normally do like trainings and trainings and trainings, but in this business, everything is repetitive. All the information is the same. So the last few weeks, I wanted to bring people in to interview them to inspire you. So a couple weeks back, we interviewed Saray and Jordan. And then we did Jenny for getting all those customers. And then we also did Hope last week. And this one, we're doing another one from our very own team here with the lovely Crystal Corley. And I'm so excited to do this. I have known Crystal since I was 8. Our families we're in the same congregation since I was a little girl. So she got to watch me grow up from being very ornery to an entrepreneur. And she joined this business with my sister and I, and just she's been the same person since the day I met her, which is amazingly sweet and positive and kind and would just bend over backwards for anybody. And though she has been the same personality-wise, her life has taken a dramatic turn in events and everything that she has been through. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, her story, where she has been through in her life, and how no matter what she goes through, how her business is always a consistency and why she's still here. And so, Crystal, without further ado, I'm going to unmute you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, some of the things that you have been through, how long you've been in this business, and then we will go from there.
My name is Crystal. I have been in the business for 2 years now. So last month, 2 years. Okay, so you just want me to tell my story. I'm so nervous, guys, so just bear with me. I'm like, whoa. Okay, so before I started this business, I had a very successful cleaning business. I was a manager for a lot of houses. I've always done jobs that I could have my kids with me. And so I was did that for like 8 years. And all of a sudden, after the 8 years, I was running half marathons. I was just doing life. And then my body decided to crash. And I was put to bed by my doctor because of adrenal insufficiency, very close to Addison's, meaning that I had no energy, like nothing. It just went away. So she put me to bed. I lost my ability to walk. And then they put me in bed in November. And then by February, I had my first anaphylactic shock. And at that time, I lost my voice. Sounded like Forrest Gump. And so so we went through 2 years of trying to figure out it has to be more than just adrenal insufficiency. It has to be something else. And through natural way and medical, because I believe in both, the natural way found that I had a B12 deficiency. And so I take daily B12 shots because I cannot hold B12. Then I was fortunate enough to meet a doctor that was through my husband's work, and he works with his daughter, and he found that I had mast cell activation syndrome, which is a disease that your histamine levels are out of control, and you can become allergic to something, and like just one day you're allergic to it. Like I never know when or what could do it. So we have been dealing with that. I've had 3 anaphylactic shocks, and in the last 4 years I've been hospitalized like 5 times and been on many ambulance rides. So with all that being said, now I fought my way to walking again and talking again. It took everything I had to walk again. I had a lady get a nurse, and she said, every day you're in bed, you lose 3 days. And it hit me really hard because I just kept thinking of my babies. I have at that time, they were 7 and 12, I think. Anyway, so, all I could think about was them. I have to walk. I have to walk. I have to talk. I had no voice for 6 months until they finally started treating me for the mast cell. And so, anyway, now I fought to get where I was. And so 2 years, that was 4 years ago. 2 years in, I was walking again, talking again. And then I decided to join It Works because I had nothing else. I mean, I was in bed. So I have to watch my energy level. I have to watch a lot of things. So I watched her do it for 2 years. And I didn't follow anybody else but Tara and Brooke. Like, as soon as I saw the green, black, and bling, I was that girl that was like, no! But realized how amazing it was. Just jumping into it, it really gave me my life back. Like, it helped me get the confidence back that I had, because I've always been that I can do anything girl. Like, my dad taught me to change tires, back up trailers, you country girl. I could do anything. And so when I lost that, and then I had to have people help me, that was like, no, it was a rough one. And so when I discovered this and started it, I didn't know if I could do it, but sure enough, I did, and I fell in love with it. I'm gonna try not to cry, guys.
I told you you're allowed.
So, I don't know. Okay, so I don't know what to say now.
Well, I just wanted.
I'm doing terrible.
You're doing great. Stop. I think what you're saying is incredible, because you were never ever lazy. You were the first one to help do whatever. You were always one with the guys, helping them do anything. Yes. So the fact that your life got flipped upside down, and then I remember those pictures of you being in the pool trying to learn how to walk again.
And that was excruciating painful. I mean, like, it was the worst pain ever. You would think it wouldn't be, but it was. It was like,
I saw the look on your face, and it was just like, for you to come from that to where you were, and then realize that there's a very limited things that you're able to do, and finally, like, a light bulb went off in your head, like, hey, like, I might not be able to do some things or a lot of things that I was able to do before, but I can do this business from my phone, and I can help bring in some extra money from my phone and not hurt myself or not fatigue my body. And it's something that I can contribute to the household. But then what I also found kind of fascinating with you is how through this process of joining the business, you found many products that actually helped you feel better.
I love our products. I get really excited to talk about our products. Keto coffee, and actually the greens have been like a lifesaver. They have given me that nourishment back in my body, because a lot of vegetables and fruits I can't eat because
you're allergic to them.
Yes. But I can drink greens. And I'm like, I get so excited. So I do that every morning. I drink my coffee and my greens, and I've lost 26 pounds from conference. So, and then collagen. Collagen is my best friend because it soothes my stomach if I have a sick stomach or anything like that. So yeah, I just found, I knew I had to have something. I knew I had to do something, because I was that person that was one step ahead, always one step ahead, doing before I was asked to do it. So, I'm so sorry. My brain.
Well, another thing that I want to ask you is, how have you been able to combat everything that you've been through to not be a victim of your circumstances and rise above and continue to be a positive light, not only for yourself, but truly for the entire team? Anyone that ever has anything to say about you, it's Crystal is so sweet. Crystal is so positive. I love Crystal. And these are things that I hear all the time about you. And that's what brought us to this point where it's like, though Crystal might not be triple presidential ambassador diamond, you are a positive light to this company. You are positivity to show that no matter what you're going through, you can do something like this and you can rise above and be amazing. So how is it that you have been able to stay true to that this entire time?
Well, I will tell you this. I mean, people get discouraged. They do. You're on fire at the beginning and you're going and going and going. You just can't let that fire burn out. You know, and celebrate your team. That's a huge thing for me. Like, I love celebrating promotions and what they're doing and just being proud of everybody around you, because that helps me know that I will get there eventually. I know I'm not there yet, but I will get there. And so just making sure, you know, you'll have bad days and you'll have people be rude. And I had to learn, you can't care about what other people think. You can't worry about that. You have to remember your why. You have to remember. So I always go back to that why. And I put paper, I mean, I have stuff everywhere, like everywhere, quotes, positive stuff. Even in my bathroom, like in front of the toilet, there's like
I love it.
so like everything around me is positive quotes. I'm not gonna say I don't have a bad day here and there, but I always try to find something positive that has happened. And I know that I'm not where I'm at because of me, not because of anybody else. You know, it's what I haven't done or what I need to do. But I think about you, Jade, you know, Tiffany, her, Ashley, you guys didn't have all that we have now. Like, they've given us so much to work with, like the Connect app, all this stuff. And you guys are, I mean, all the leaders are helping. And so really there's no excuses. There's really no excuses to be able to go somewhere. You just have to do the steps. So yeah, I just think it's important to make sure that you stay positive, because as soon as you let that negative energy in, you want to stay there. So
yeah, for sure. That's very, very true. And one thing that I can say for sure about you is I have been on or hosted very few Zooms where you're not the first face I see. You are on every call. You're on every Zoom. You're the first one to share the family call. You're the first one to share an announcement like that. Like, you are in it because that's something that you can control in your life, and that's something that you can, you know, help. And you want to be a helper to everybody. And you're always wants to watch the Zoom or watch trainings and like tag people in them and things like that on the bigger pages, not even just our little one. And you have, like you said, every resource available to you by other leaders in this business, that if you really want it, you have everything at your fingertips. I remember you've been on Zooms when you're laying in a hospital bed.
Yep.
You're like, I was on the family call. I just went into anaphylactic shock, but I'm on the call. And I'm like, there's no one has excuses. If Crystal Corley is on the call just after anaphylactic shock and like on meds, like, where am I? Am I on the call? I better as heck be on the call. So it's like, you're even a good reality check to myself. Like, girl, you might be sleepy, but you're not in a hospital bed, so be on. Be on the call, be accountable. And
And
you're
there's
always accountable.
and there's times I can't use my hands. Like my hands will stop. And so I've bought this thing where it comes over me on the bed and I use my voice. I send voice messages because I can't send messages because I can't even hold my phone. So it's just so important. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. So
You just made me so happy.
I'm so red.
I'm so proud of you. Like there have been so many times I'm just like I can't today. I'm like this just shows me how much of a pansy I am sometimes. Like you just reassured all of that. So
yeah, because Jonathan has always made sure that he's been a supportive husband from day one and has always made sure I had the tools that I needed. So very thankful for that. And anything that I need for the handicap, make sure. So
that's so great. Like you, instead of like allowing something to be a barrier or an obstacle for you, it's not an obstacle. It's just like a little setback and you have to reassess. You're like, all right, how do I find my way around it? What is it that I need to do? So you're constantly like looking at ways to either you dig under it, you go around it, you get a ladder, whatever it is that you need to make sure that you're able to do what you need to do. You have always found a way. So I'm so inspired by you, and I know that I am not the only one. Several people on this team right now is so inspired by you on a daily basis. And it was a full-on consensus that we needed to do a Zoom with you and shout you out and allow you to show how amazing you are, because I don't feel like most people realize everything that you've gone through and that you're still here, you're still plugging along, and you are still the most positive person I know. You never ever complain. You'll come to me, you're like, I'm sorry, I'm complaining, and you're not even complaining. It's the nicest thing, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You're not complaining. Sorry, I'm in a hospital. I was like 2 minutes late to the Zoom. But you're just so incredible. I'm so proud of everything that you do. And now that I'm glad that this is out for the other team to look to you as an example as well, on like days maybe when they're feeling a little bit uninspired or feeling a little bit just petting themselves when things aren't completely perfect, that they can look to you like, what would Crystal Corley do? Crystal Corley would do what she had to do. So can we end this Zoom with your big like piece of advice on what you would have a new distributor to do to take their business off and like get it launched from the very beginning? Like what things that you did when you first started? Stop it.
Number one, the second they sign, you get them working. They don't need a kit to get working. You get them to work, and you start having them talk to their family, friends, everybody. I even have them make a list. I send them some different I can't talk different scripts. I call them outlines, actually call them outlines, and I have them change it to themselves, like their personality, and I have them resend it to me to make sure that goes. And then, but my biggest thing is just get them to work right away and tell them what to do.
That's awesome. And do you find that it's important for them to be a part of like the community, like being on the calls and Zooms and stuff?
Yeah, the Zooms, the trainings, I mean, like anything like that. I mean, I'm still learning. Like I still constantly am learning, and like, ooh, I love that, or ooh, I always take a piece of something. And so it's super important to be on all of the Zooms, and because you will learn something new every time. So yes.
Exactly. So like, for instance, like when you're on a call or you watch a training video or you're anything like that, you're constantly it's like putting another log on the fire.
Yes.
But if you go a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week without pouring into yourself at all or being a part of any of the calls or any of the trainings or watching anything, that fire turns to just little embers. And then eventually, if you don't put anything on it, it goes completely out. And then you're stuck like with a stick and trying to rekindle it. And it's going to be so much harder than just like a day after day, like sprinkling something, putting something on your fire. So you can't be away from this information.
No, that's like the biggest thing. You start out on fire and then you can't let it sizzle out. Like, you just got to keep putting it into yourself to keep that fire going. Exactly. And just love it. I mean, I love it.
I know you do. Everyone knows that you love it. And it's so
I absolutely love it.
And I feel like if any of you have ever friends or, you know, anyone on social media that has an ailment where they're not really able to physically work, you can use Crystal as an example. I'm going to post this video and you can even share this video with them, like showing like this could be something that could help them bring in extra income without hurting themselves physically. Because Crystal is living, breathing proof that she has been through so much and she's still able to work this business and not just work it, but also love the products that I've been able to help her as well. So is there any questions that anyone would like to ask Crystal, or do we just want to like thank her just so much for being on? If you want to, you can unmute yourself and ask a question or say something. But if not, we can.
I just want to say, Crystal, the reason why I never stopped going after you is because, you know, Tara and I obviously were like, you know, you were big sisters to us, and I knew your heart and soul and how much you love to help people and how much this was up your alley. And even though you had no sales experience, it's living proof to everyone that if you know, as meek and mild as Crystal is too, and as sick as she was and everything she's been through, she's a prime example. Watching Crystal when I got sick, she brought me back. If it wasn't for Crystal, I wouldn't be back where I am, going back for Double Diamond like I am. She's an inspiration to so much. I mean, I'm dealing with something that's a chronic illness that I don't know how I'm going to feel from day to day, but it's nothing like hers, you know? And so she's such an inspiration to everybody. And I just want to tell you, Crystal, like, you beat yourself up, but girl, you are a rock star. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to be my next diamond. And I can't wait to see you get there. And I love you with all of my heart. You're my sister from another mister and my spiritual sister. And everybody needs to look at Crystal when they have a bad day, because I know I do. When I'm vomiting, I just turn and I look at her and I go to her post and I'm like, all right, I can do this. I can do this. Even when my head's in the toilet, I got this, and I'm going to start my stories, because if she can do it, I can do it. I mean, we spent a weekend together in bed, both sick, and we were just sitting there working together. I mean, everybody needs to have that kind of a grit and understand that no matter your circumstances, somebody always has it worse. And you need to look to those people to get your head out of your own butt, just like I did with me, you know, like she did with me. And I just, Crystal, from the bottom of my heart, you have no idea what you'll ever mean to me. And always been that way. And you know how I feel about you. And when you joined my team, it was probably the most I don't even know how to put it. I think I valued you more than you will ever know, and you did more for me than you ever thought that I did for you. And I appreciate you so much. And no one in this team will ever truly know until they truly get to know you and watch you, how amazing you are. And you need to know how amazing you are. And don't ever doubt yourself, because you are a diamond, and you're going to be a diamond and above. And I foresee that before next conference, and I'm gonna be there right there with you. I'm going back double, y'all. I'm going for triple, Pi conference.
You got it.
It's not Pi conference, after conference for sure. And you're gonna be my double diamond.
Love you.
I love you. You're amazing.
All right, so everybody, let's give Crystal a big round of applause. She was so nervous to do this. She was like, I asked her last week if she could do it. She's like, I don't. I'm like, yes, you got it. She's like, I'm going to cry. It's okay. But thank you so much for doing this, Crystal. Though you might not see it, you are an inspiration to all of us, and everything that you do does not go unnoticed. And we're so thankful for everything that you are and all the positivity that you share onto this team. And I love you so much. And I know it's reciprocated throughout the team as well. So thank you so much for doing this for us. And you did awesome. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great Monday. Use this to fire you up for the rest of the week, the last week of the month, and get to go and get to town and getting your business up and running. So have a good night and rest of your week. See ya. Bye.